my name is Selena Lindemuth. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go over college and career planning for our juniors. So today we're going to go over a few things. We're going to overview the college planning timeline. Mr. D'Angelo is going to give an introduction to Naviance, the college search, college list creation, and college comparison features, as well as letters of recommendation and brag sheets. Ms. Gonzalez will go over demonstrated interest, the Common App, and SAT. And Ms. Welsh will go through Mercer County Community College and the Mercer County Technical Schools career prep programs. So taking a quick look at the college planning timeline from now through next September, winter and spring. Right now, the most important thing to do is to register for and take an ACT this spring, SAT or ACT. Obviously, continue to do well in school, prepare for the SAT or ACT, start your college search, take an SAT or ACT, draft a well-rounded college list, request your letters of recommendation, complete your brag sheet in Naviance, and start demonstrating interest. This summer, the most important thing is to attend college boot camp at LHS in early August. We'll send more information about this later on in the school year, but this is a great opportunity for students to get help with their application. This summer, you're going to start thinking about creating your Common App account, refining your college list, begin working on your Common App essay, exploring colleges, deepening your exploration of career interests and possible majors, create your college resume, and double check the winter and spring list and make sure there's nothing that remains undone.
Okay, hello. My name is Corey Rutt. I'm one of the school counselors here at LHS, and I'm going to be talking to you about the SAT and the ACT. So now is the time to help your student get registered or your child get registered for taking the SAT or the ACT. Taking it in the spring or early summer allows students time to take the test twice if they want to do that to try to improve their grade. So we do encourage that you go ahead and get them registered for it soon. We will be sharing a copy of this Google Slides presentation with you. And these are live links that can take you to the SAT registration process, which is done through College Board, as you can see here. It can take you also to the ACT registration process. Okay, so again, we will be sharing this just to make the links available to you.
Hi, my name is Christian D'Angelo, and I'm also one of the counselors here at Lawrence High School. And I'll be talking about the use of our program for college search and also our program for sending electronic documents when the college application process begins for students. I did want to mention, going back briefly to the SAT and ACT, that there are free prep courses available in both of those sites. There's Khan Academy for the SAT and then Kaplan Prep for the ACT. So we encourage all students to use the free preparation on either one of those sites, depending on which exam you choose to take. Back to Naviance, all of our students in the district, active students, have free accounts on Naviance. So if your student does not know what Naviance is or for some reason cannot access their account, please ask them to reach out to their counselor and we can reset their password to make sure that they have access to their account. So I am going to share my screen and go through some of the features that are available to everyone. I'm going to stay primarily with the colleges and About Me tab. But I also want to encourage everybody to use all of the features in your account You can't make any mistakes. And the self-discovery and career tabs are also very useful for kids that are exploring possible avenues for study in college and career paths by various assessment tools, personality assessments, career interest inventories, and all of those assessments that can be taken through your Naviance account will produce reports that we think will be valuable for everyone. And we've heard kids say that they're also fun and interesting. So please use all of the features available in your account. For the purposes of this presentation and for the college planning process, I'm going to stay, again, primarily with the colleges tab and the About Me tab. So to start, just as a starting point for building a list of schools that you can then dig a little deeper in and do some research and visit campuses and whatnot, I want to bring you to, again, the colleges tab. And then if you go into the advanced search tool here, you'll see across the top of your screen, there are 8 different criteria. And each time you finished with selecting a criteria on each screen, you're just going to click next. One thing I want to bring to your attention is that the more criteria you select, the more restricted your list will be. So my advice is always to try and keep it as general as possible and only select the things that are absolutely important to you in terms of what you're looking for in colleges. And then when you get to the end of the search, what you want to do is click View Matches. And that will produce a list of colleges for example's sake. I'm going to show you a very general search. So I'm just going to select 4-year schools and then click View Matches. And what you'll see here is it gives me a list, because it's so extremely general, of 2,832 schools down below here. And when you come to this screen, when you actually conduct your search, what you're going to do is like or select the schools that you find appealing down below in your list. And it's going to add those schools to the colleges that you're thinking about to this page. So you'll see this particular student built a list, and then she added these schools as the ones that she was most interested in to the colleges that she's thinking about. And from this page, you're going to see a couple of different features here that are going to allow you to get a visual of the academic fit of all of these schools for you. So if you click Compare Me, it puts you as the student at the top of the list with your GPA and your SAT, and whichever tests you've taken, above. Down below, you're going to see the average numbers for accepted students for each one of these schools. Now, it can be a little bit deceiving because the numbers that you see are dependent on how many applicants we have had from Lawrence High School to each of these individual schools. So they may not be very reliable, but the data is there for you to get a general idea of how you match up to the average accepted student to each one of these schools below. So once you build your list, and you'll see the list of schools down below from your search, these are the schools that this particular student saved from their general search. So these schools get placed into your colleges that I'm thinking about tab. And from this screen, you'll see, I'm going to show you two different features of this program that allows you to get a visual of what type of academic fit you are for the schools on your list. The first one is the Compare Me tool, which places you, the student, at the top of the list with your data, GPA, and whatever college entrance exam scores you have earned based on which ones you've taken. And then down below, you'll see the averages for accepted students to each of the schools on your list. This is dependent on how many applicants that there have been over the past several years from Lawrence High School. So it can be somewhat unreliable depending on how many applicants to each school there have been. But you're able to get a general idea of the caliber of student that is being accepted to each one of the schools on your list in comparison to how you're performing. The other tool that you can get a visual for academic fit for is on the right-hand side of each one of your school. If you click these dots and you click on scattergrams, you'll see a plot of all of the applicants to this school. So you'll see that Larissa Lawrence is on the American University screen, and there is a legend down at the bottom of each one of these that lets you know what each one of these symbols are. If you hover over it, you'll see all of the accepted students and their GPA and SAT or ACT score. And then you'll also see denied students. And across this axis, you'll also see where you are in relation to the accepted and denied students. So this is another example of a feature that gives you a visual that allows you to determine the academic fit for the schools that you're considering. So that's the search and compare me feature for Naviance, and we're going to ask all of our juniors and seniors to use this, obviously, to help them as they go through their search. The other tool I want to bring to your attention is the method that we use to request recommendations. So top right-hand corner, I want to just show you how to get to your student brag sheet. And you will need your student brag sheet when you request your letters of recommendation. So before I show you where to request letters of recommendation, if you go to About Me and then Surveys, you will see Student Brag Sheet. And there are, I believe, 14 questions, all about your high school experience. So we ask that you put a couple of sentences in each box. And then a very important thing to note and remember is that when you come to the end of your brag sheet, after you put information in all of these boxes, please remember to save it. And then you want to find a way to get that brag sheet to the two teachers that you're asking recommendations from. So you could either save that sheet as a personal file or print it and physically hand it to the two teachers you're asking to recommend you. If you go back to the colleges tab, you will see letters of recommendation. You'll be redirected to this page, and if you click Add Request, it brings you to a menu of all of the teachers at Lawrence High School. So we ask students to select two teachers Later in the year, I recommend sending these requests late in the year, prior to summer break, so that your teachers can kind of work on your letters over the summer. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to take, as a general rule, your teacher to be able to get to your letter and actually complete it and make it available to you. So we encourage doing this early. And then once you select the 2 teachers that you're interested in asking, you want to submit your request, and it's going to send them an email and a link that they're going to use to upload their letter. And that's when they're going to ask each student for a copy of their brag sheet. So that's the recommendation piece. And the features that we think are important for the college search process. The next aspect of the college search process that we talk about with all of our students is the idea of demonstrated interest. And we think that this is an underrated and not often thought about important aspect of college's decision-making process. And all it means is you're going to demonstrate interest, but you're also going to show the colleges that you're serious about considering their school and actually applying to their school. So there are several ways to do this. The first way to do this is to basically just visit campus, and you can do a live tour, an in-person tour, or an open house. They can all be scheduled through directly through a college's website that you may be interested in. And you'll see some information somewhere on the home screen, typically, where you can sign up for either a tour or an open house. When you do that, they collect your information and they save that information. That just tells them that you actually took that extra step to get to know more about their school. So we believe, and we've heard from schools, that does make a difference. So those are 2 ways to demonstrate interest. The other way now, in the year 2022, virtually all colleges will offer virtual tours. And so all colleges do a very good job with their virtual tours, and many of them will take you around the campuses to show you all of their buildings. They will present the different programs available. They'll talk about scholarship availability and their admission standards. So that's another way to demonstrate interest. Finally, through Naviance, for the purposes of showing you how to get to this place, you're going to go to the Colleges tab. And when you click College Visits, obviously there's nothing showing now because all of our visits for this school year are over. In the fall, when you log in to your Naviance account and go to the Colleges Visits tab, you will see all of the colleges listed here with the date and time and the name of the college. Each college sends a representative from their admissions department to Lawrence High School at the scheduled time, and they meet in our Career Center. And if your student goes to this tab, scrolls down through the college visits, they will be able to click a Sign Me Up button. When they do that, we get a notice and we will send your student a pass to come down to the guidance office and meet with that college representative. The same thing happens when you come to the Lawrence High School college visits. You will meet directly with oftentimes the college admissions counselor that is responsible for our region. and is actually often the person that will be reading your application when and if you apply to that school. They also collect your demographic information and they keep it on file on campus. So that again, when and if you apply to their school, they can see that you took that extra step to do some more research, additional research into their school. And again, we believe that makes a difference. So that's the end of my talk about the different tools available to you through Naviance and the idea of demonstrated interest. I'll now be handing it off to Ms. Gonzalez, who will continue the presentation.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alexa Gonzalez. I'm one of the counselors here at Lawrence High School, and I'm here to talk to you about the Common Application, otherwise known as the Common App. So you will see a link to the Common App on the slide. And when you do have access to this presentation, you'll be able to click on it. It'll take you right to the website. The Common App is the college application that is most widely used and accepted by colleges. It is used by about 900 colleges, not only in this country, but overseas as well. And what it does, it's a platform that applicants can use to apply to multiple colleges. And it really helps to streamline the process so that you're not having to do college applications and put in the same information over and over again. So it's very helpful in that way. There's several sections. There's a demographic section where you need to put in your personal information. There is an education section where you list the courses that you're taking your senior year, also your GPA and things of that nature. There's a section where you can self-report testing scores if you choose to. There's an extracurricular section where you are talking about clubs and activities and things of that nature. And then there's also the section where you will include your personal essay. And you can actually look to see what the prompts are now. They don't tend to change year to year. So you can take a look and you can Google Common App essays, and you should be able to see what the essays are. And they should be the same ones next year. Now, you can't actually start the application now. It goes live on August 1st. So you can, we have our boot camp that first week of August, generally speaking, so that students have access to the Common App for the 2022-2023 school year. What else? Why should you use the Common App? Like I said, it does streamline the process. Most colleges that accept the Common App prefer that you use that one application because it helps them to keep everything organized. It is linked to your Naviance account, so that helps us as well in terms of submitting your documents. When you submit your Common App, because it's linked to your Naviance account, when we submit your recommendation letters and your transcript through Naviance, it all ends up in one neat file in the admissions office. So it's a nice, clean submission in that way. Not all colleges accept the Common App, but most do. So for example, in New Jersey, all of our public schools accept the Common App with the exception of Rutgers. So generally, when you're looking on Naviance and you're putting schools in your colleges I'm thinking about list, you'll be able to see there if the school accepts the Common App or not, and you'll see that most of them do. This next slide talks about the deadline vocabulary that can be a little confusing sometimes. Each college has its own deadline. Most colleges do have an early deadline procedure where they accept applications in the early fall. And often they let you know before the winter break, whether you're admitted, not admitted, or possibly deferred to a later deadline. So we encourage our students to use these early deadlines whenever they can. It demonstrates to the school that you are interested, that you're organized, that you have your stuff together in order to get everything in by the fall. So it does give a good impression. And it's also nice to know if you were admitted or not admitted or deferred so that you can continue your planning in terms of your process. So this slide talks to you about all those different types of deadlines. I won't go through them because it's kind of self-explanatory, but do know that the vocabulary is here for you to learn more about. And if you have questions about these deadlines, of course, just reach out to your counselor. There's always a regular decision deadline later in the school year, usually sometimes January, sometimes February, but it can be as late as May or June. So that if you decide to apply to a school later on, that will be available to you. But when possible, try to use these earlier deadlines just so that you can plan appropriately. And then your next steps as a parent. Obviously, we want you to be part of this process. And the most important thing is that you support your child as they go through this process, because it is their process. It is their, it is their path in terms of being in charge of their future and their future steps. So what we need for you to do is to please help your child get the most out of their LHS education. Their appointment to choose courses for their senior year is coming up. Please be part of that process. A lot of the seniors know that for the most part, they've met their graduation requirements, except for English and PE. But as a college candidate, we need them to choose challenging courses for their senior year. So please be part of that process and help them select courses that will not only help them to further develop themselves, but also to help them be strong college candidates next year. Help your child get to know him or herself. That means, just talk to them about their interests, their strengths. Try to help them to connect their interests and strengths with potential career paths or majors that utilizes those strengths and interests. And we really need your help in assisting them to find colleges that will meet their needs. So help them to figure out, where do they want to go to school? Do they want to stay close to home? How far are you okay with them going? So location is a big deal. Do they want to be at a large institution, or do you feel it would be better for your child to be at a smaller type of school where things will be more personalized? Have those conversations with them now and help them to select schools that will meet the criteria that they've, set for themselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Doreen Welsh, another counselor here at the high school, and I'll be talking to you about differences that students have between wanting to go to a four-year college. Some are not able to for financial reasons, and some would prefer to stay at home and start with Mercer County Community College. The basic steps with Mercer are a little bit different than four-year colleges. No SATs or ACTs are required. No recommendations are required. The price of the tuition is much cheaper. And the biggest drawing point is the articulation agreement Mercer has with most New Jersey colleges, meaning credits that are earned at Mercer travel and transfer to every New Jersey college. So you're not losing any credits, you're not losing time, you're not losing money. Mercer also has something new on their campus called the University Center. And on this center, there are colleges that have offices there, so students can stay at Mercer after finishing their associate's degree and complete their bachelor's degree. These colleges are Fairleigh Dickinson, Felician, Rutgers, William Patterson, and Wilmington. So again, you can do 2 years at Mercer, or you can do 4 years, stay on campus and earn your bachelor's degree with these colleges. Again, it's not for every student, but for students who want to go to a 2-year local community college, this is the perfect answer. Mercer County also has other options for students not wishing to attend college. Not everyone wants to go to college and continue their education. We all see the dollar signs when we have a plumber come to our home or an electrician. So there are many, many other options for our students. Our technical schools, as a senior, a student can still start the first year of the program and upon graduation, continue as an adult student. Tuition runs under $4,000. And you can see all of the programs that are listed. There are 2 campuses, the SciPec and the Assipink Center. So depending on the program is where the campus would house that particular school. Something else that's brand new to our seniors, We've had it for years, but it's called Career Prep, and it's offered at Mercer County Community College. It's for grade 12 students only. What happens is they attend school at Lawrence for half the day in the morning, and in the afternoon, they take 2 college courses at Mercer, 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring. Each course is worth 3 credits. We, as a district, pay for this tuition. So a student can technically earn 12 free college credits while being a senior at Lawrence High School. Combine that with the English course that's offered, the Mercer 101, 102 courses. So a student could actually work to finish half of their freshman year through these options. Again, these are some more of the options that are available on the list. You can also go online and see them listed, and of course, description.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Welsh. So we have gone over a ton of information with you today, and I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video. Hopefully you feel more informed no matter what direction your child will be taking after graduation and what you're helping them prepare for as they enter their senior year. On this Google Slides presentation, which will be shared with you, I want to just let you know about additional resources that we've provided you links to. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but one tool I definitely want to mention, well, a couple actually. One, academic support options at LHS. If you click on that link, you will see that there are tons of options here to support your child in being the best student they can while they're at LHS, which is really the very best thing they could be doing right now to support their future, no matter what direction they go from here. Tons of information related to college planning. And then lastly, the bottom link, U.S. Bureau of Labor and Bureau Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook, is a wealth of information for students about potential careers, whether they intend on pursuing a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree, or going directly to work. I can't recommend that resource highly enough because it tells you how in demand certain careers are expected to be in the future, how much they pay, and what type of training or education is required for them. So again, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We hope that you found this informative, and we look forward to partnering with you and your child to make this transition that they're going to be going through during their senior year as easy and productive as possible. Thank you.